let's get back to what I was discussing. It's shovels. Shovels are the katana of hand tools. They are overrepresented in media for what they're supposed to do. They don't do their job very well, and when you say to people, "Hey, I need to dig something," their first instance of thinking up is a shovel, right? So you probably think, "Oh, okay, Fang, what the fuck are you on about here, man?" Okay, I need you to really seriously ask yourself: have you ever needed to really dig a hole? I mean, not make a garden bed or clean up some sod or something. I mean, like really, really dig a hole, right? Um, and the vast majority of people are probably going to say no. Like, you've not spent several hours of the day in a in a ditch, filling in holes or making more ditches or trenches, something like that. Most people don't do that kind of thing, right? Um, when you really need to dig dirt, all right, and I mean like you've got a lot of dirt to move, you've got a lot of work to do. I found a shovel is not the best tool for that. Instead, what you really want is almost like a mattock. If you know what that is, a mattock is a tool almost like a pickaxe, but on the other side it's got a hoe-like blade where it's flat and perpendicular to the shaft of the handle and not parallel to it, right? Um, and that's the best way to dig something because with a shovel, and this is where you can kind of tell when people don't really know exactly like the fucking cold hard facts of having to dig lots of holes and shit. Um, Shovels are not really well designed or well built, um, and the current idea of what a shovel is just kind of again building off that uh that misconception of what it actually is. Like if you've ever actually tried to dig a hole, I mean really dig a big hole, like an 8 by 10 by 4 hole or some shit like that, you know. A decent sized project where you're going to be doing it for most of the day, if not several days. Um, and you go and get your shovel and you start trying to dig into the dirt, you're going to notice right off the bat several things. Number one, you can't get it that far into the dirt because of several things. Like the blade's too wide, the blade's not short enough. Um, when you try and put your boot on the back of the actual blade, uh, the metal is usually way too thin. There's not enough of a foothold, so you either have an issue with leverage or you literally can't dig it in any further. Um, if you do try and dig it any further, if there's anything like a rock or roots or some slightly hard clay, um, you are not going to be able to dig very deep at all because you cannot move that piece until you literally have to work around it and then pull it up, right? Um, and then let's say you do get a decent sized mound of dirt and ready to lift it out. Um, for every pound of dirt that's you've got on the end of your shovel, you now have to leverage out um, from a decently long 3 or 4 feet that you now have to pick up and move. And the further out, any amount of weight can exponentially increase, or it's going to feel a lot heavier to you just by virtue of being further away. The closer something is to your body, the easier it is to lift. The further it is out, the harder it is it gets. That's generally the physics concept there. So a shovel, you've got 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds of dirt on the end of your shovel. It's going to get harder and harder to pick it up and throw it out because it's too far away from you, because this shaft is too long, right? Compare that to a mattock or a pick or anything like that, and you've got angular momentum, or whatever that term is, where you're swinging down, you hit the dirt, you've got a nice long pick that just cleaves into that dirt and breaks it up. And now you can actually pull the dirt away, and then using the kind of hoe side, you can just scoop it and toss it. You know, there's no picking it up and lifting it out. You just scoop and toss. You know, it's a lot more intensive on your arms, but I'm honestly like, that's a lot better because it just makes the job go that much faster. And like where I live, there's like an absolute shit ton of red clay, and it's always really wet because we always have a lot of rain. And trying to dig with a shovel in that crap is absolutely fucking impossible. Because you can just only chunk little itty bits of clay out at a time, and then once you get a whole bunch out, it's a lot heavier than the regular dirt, you know. So that's my massive spiel. Like, if you ever want to do any sort of like manual labor-based digging of any sort of kind, you should go get a mattock or a pickaxe. Those are the two best ways to actually clear dirt out. They break up sod, they break up mud, they break up rocks and clay very easily. Very easy to drag out. Well, you don't really have to, like, you're not going to worry about a whole bunch of weight because it's all in small pieces anyway, you know. And if anything you actually need to grab, just grab it, you know. Just use your hand and throw it out. It can actually bust up rocks, which a shovel can't do either. And then you're not busting your back, and you're like straining your lower back, trying to lift a lot of basically inconsequential weight, but because it's so far away from your the center of gravity, it like makes it that much heavier and that much more cumbersome. You know, never mind trying to do that within like a slightly deep hole, like 2 or 3 feet into the ground, and you're suddenly having to contend with like the whole shaft of your fucking shovel fighting against you. You know, just trying to move around. So, like a smaller, shorter tool is a lot more easy to use in that tight, confined space. I would say if you can find like either an e-tool or entrenching tool is what it's called in the military, or like a folding shovel, basically is what it is. It's a fucking folding shovel. A lot of places make knockoff ones that's stupid cheap. They usually fold up into a pretty small, portable size. And the best part is, if you really want to use it as a mattock or a pick, they usually have a pick on the other end that you can extend out. And then you can actually turn the shovel blade so that it's facing 90 degrees. And you can use it as a hoe blade instead, which is a lot better for actually breaking up dirt and moving it. So that's my whole big fucking spiel on shovels. And I say all this because I had to spend 2 fucking hours today digging up a water line that I'd already thought was functional. I'm not in the game fucking window again. That I thought was good, and it turned out it wasn't, and we had to dig in the fucking dirt to find the damn thing again. And I went from using a shovel to going to getting a folding shovel and turning it into a pick and doing it that way. So yeah, that's what it is. Excuse me. That's what I'm doing here. So I'm really tired.